Coming up on Look Today, well, Washington County will be joining other counties in our area in the legal action against opioid manufacturers. And Lieutenant Governor Kathy Hochul seeks to help New Yorkers in light of the new federal tax plan. More on that coming up. Plus, Glens Falls School District taxpayers will vote on the school budget in May. Got some of those details. All ahead on Look Today. Welcome, everyone. I'm Jay Hood Jackson, and this is Look Today. On tonight's program, I sit down with Jessica Tottenhagen. She's director of the Beagle School in Saratoga, and we're joined by Kate Fitzpatrick and Mary Carlin. They're members of the board of directors for the Beagle School. They're here to talk about the school as well as a concert featuring Laurie Berkner, taking place April 21st. I also sit down with Jim Goodspeed. He's race director of the Rotary 5K Corporate Challenge in Glens Falls. And we're joined by Kim Sopcich. She's executive director of family services for the Association of Glens Falls. And they're here to talk about this year's race. It's also happening, by the way, on April 21st. Plus, we've got your weather for the Tri-North counties. But first, these headline stories. Well, in our lead story, Washington County will be joining other counties in our area in a legal action against opioid manufacturers and distributors. Now, opioid manufacturers are being sued across the country for encouraging doctors to overprescribe painkillers to patients. Now, these manufacturers are doing this with a complete understanding of the addictive nature of these medications. Well, this overprescription has also been linked to the abuse of harder street drugs and leads to their use, such as heroin. Well, the Washington County Board of Supervisors approved the issue last week. It's going to go to vote this Friday. Well, we went over to Washington County and spoke to Supervisor Robert Henke.
I don't think we're going to make money off this. This is not a cash cow for a cash-strapped county. That's not the whole point. I think the whole point is to stop the bleeding, to protect our people. The function of government, as far as I'm concerned, is to protect people and do things that people can't do for themselves. And I think that protecting them from this sort of thing is a major, point of government. So that's what we're trying to do.
Great move. It really is a pandemic, not an epidemic, a pandemic. All right, in other news. Well, as you may know, the new federal tax plan, by design, could increase taxes in up to 12 states. Now, New York is one of them. Now, in this case, could mean as much as a 30% tax increase from last year for a certain segment of the population. Well, Lieutenant Governor Kathy Hochul is fighting to repeal the law and may challenge it in court. In her recent presentation of the New York State budget in Glens Falls, she outlined a couple of ways in which New Yorkers can get the best possible outcome in this year's tax season. The Lieutenant Governor spoke.
What we're trying to do is just find out any way we can to relieve the tax burden on our citizens. One way we're going to do it is, there's more details coming out, so I'm just going to give you sort of a snapshot here. New options to make charitable deductions at the state and local levels so you can continue deducting them. An option for employers to pay a deductible tax on wages instead of having taxing income.
This tax plan has proven to be not very popular. Switching from news to weather. Expect more rain. Man, it was a tough weekend. Let's see how the week is shaping up. For a more detailed look at our weather, let's head to the Glens Falls Weather Center for a look at your first forecast.
Thanks, Jesse. I'm meteorologist Clarence Sponsor with your first look weather update here on Look TV. We right now currently have this low pressure and a couple of troughs as well impacting the Great Lakes in the Northeast. That's going to bring precip chances for the overnight hours. Temperatures are going to fall into the mid to upper 30s across much of the Capital District. So make sure you not only have the heavy coats, but be prepared to have that shovel in hand. Although accumulations do look to be very light, so that's good news. And with above freezing temps for overnight lows, 36, by the way, in Glens Falls, 36 Albany as well. You're going to need the rain gear along with a little bit of snow gear, also winter gear as well. Again, little if any accumulation, southwest wind at 5 to 10 miles per hour, so wind chills won't be too unbearable. Back in the mid 40s, but we still have precip chances on your Tuesday, and our out-to-door forecast shows some scattered rain and snow showers. Wind chills in the lower 30s, air temps upper 30s. Then our extended forecast does show a wet weather pattern all the way through Friday with rain and snow chances. The highest chance for snow, of course, will be early in the day when we fall to the lower 30s. How about a low of 30 degrees, by the way, on Thursday? Highs generally about 45 to 48 through Friday. The next day we could see the sunshine again, potentially on Saturday, 50 the afternoon high. So get your weekend plans in right now. And that was your weather update here on First Look Weather here on Look TV. I'm meteorologist Clarence Sponsor. Now I send it back to you, Jesse.
Thanks very much, Clarence. I thought April was supposed to go to May, not April to March. Took us about 10 minutes this morning just to get the ice off of our cars. Back to the news. Well, Glens Falls School District taxpayers are going to vote on the school's budget on May 15. Now, the new adopted budget would increase spending by 2.93%. That totals an amount of $44.3 million. And the budget includes new positions to help teachers integrate technology into their lesson plans. Well, we were at the school today. We spoke to Paul Jenkins, district superintendent.
The vote will be on May 15th at Sanford Street School, and we do have we'll have a public hearing prior to that, 2 weeks prior. And, public is more than welcome to come listen to the presentation, ask any questions that they may have. But we also have the information on our website. The full budget explanation is there. So, if people have questions, they can certainly look at that and then contact our office.
Up next, I sit down with Jessica Tottenhagen. She's director of the Beagle School in Saratoga. And we're joined by Kate Fitzpatrick and Mary Carlin. They're board members. And they're here to talk about the school as well as a concert featuring Laurie Berkner. That's taking place in Saratoga on April 21st. I also sit down with Jim Goodspeed. He's race director for the Rotary 5K Corporate Challenge in Glens Falls. And we're joined by Kim Sopcich. She's executive director of Family Services Association of Glens Falls. And they're here to talk about this year's race, which is also happening on April 21st. But first, if you see news happening, you want to share a story idea. How about join us for an interview? Then give us a call on the hotline. The number is 798-8000. Well, that's all the time we have for this edition of Look Today. It's Monday, so we like to look ahead. A couple of things, bunch of things actually. This week on Look TV, we've got next in our installment on Look at Veterans. And we just found out today that our Congresswoman, Elise Stefanik, is going to be part of this series. This has really taken off. Reminder that tomorrow night is Rockman Hendricks at Cafe Lena in Saratoga. Also this week, high school students are coming in. Major rally going on concerning gun safety on April the 20th. So we're going to be interviewing some high school students this week. We're taping the first of another new series here on Look Media called Warren Watch, hosted by none other than Mark Westcott, all about issues in Warren County. Going to be a very, very exciting and informative program. Juvenile Diabetes Foundation is coming in for an interview for their fundraiser, and the Park Theater in Glens Falls is opening this weekend coming up. There'll be a press conference this week, which we are going to cover. Beautiful restoration of an historic theater right in downtown Glens Falls. Well, that's it tonight on Look TV. It's Beyond the Headlines. And don't forget, tune in tomorrow night for the stories that matter to you. Good night, everyone.